The Nebula's Edge Diner sat on the outer rim of Station Kepler 442, a worn establishment that served the dregs of 100 species. Neon signs flickered in 3 different atmospheric conditions, and the smell of burnt synth meat mixed with the acrid tang of recycled air. Lysara hunched over her table in the corner booth, her iridescent scales catching the dim light. Where magnificent wings should have spread from her shoulders, only scarred stumps remained, memorials to a mining accident that had shattered both bone and dreams. She stirred her soup slowly, trying to ignore the stares. The Krillix patrol entered like a storm. 6 of them, carapaces gleaming, mandibles clicking in that grating laugh their species called humor. They'd been drinking, their movements too loose, too aggressive. The diner's other patrons suddenly found their meals fascinating. "Look what crawled in here," the lead Krillix chittered, compound eyes fixed on Lysara. "A dragon without wings. That's like a Terran without their precious opposable thumbs." His companions clicked their approval, circling her table. Lysara's claws tightened around her spoon, but she kept her eyes down. She'd learned that lesson the hard way. "What's wrong, worm?" Another taunted, leaning close enough that she could smell the fermentation on his breath. "Can't fly away? Can't fight back? Just a broken little—" "She's eating," the diner's owner, a 3-armed Yulian, said nervously from behind the counter. "Please, officers, other customers." "Shut it, Yulian." The lead Krillix flicked a dismissive claw. He turned back to Lysara, reaching out to knock her bowl aside. Hot soup splashed across the table, across her worn jacket. "Oops, clumsy me. But then, you know all about being broken, don't you?" Lysara stood slowly, soup dripping from her sleeves. Her golden eyes finally met the Krillix's compound stare. "I'm leaving." "Not yet." A chitinous hand shoved her back down. "We're not done with our entertainment." For 15 more minutes they circled and mocked and pushed. The diner stayed silent. Station security didn't patrol this sector. The Krillix enforcement was the security here. Lysara endured it all, her jaw clenched so tight her fangs drew blood from her own lips. Finally bored, they left. The diner exhaled collectively. Lysara sat in the wreckage of her dignity, soup cooling on her clothes, and tried not to cry. An hour later, the diner's door opened again. Darren Cole walked in first, his tool belt jangling, grease still under his fingernails from the freighter repair he'd just finished. Behind him came 7 more human mechanics from the dock, still in their work suits, smelling of hydraulic fluid and determination. "Yulian," Darren said calmly, approaching the counter. "Heard there was some trouble here." The Yulian's center arm trembled. "Mr. Cole, please, I don't want—" "Not asking you to do anything." Darren's voice was quiet, but it carried. "Just need to know where they went." "The Krillix patrol," Lysara spoke up from her corner, surprising herself. "But you shouldn't. They're station enforcement." "They can—" Darren turned to look at her, really look at her. His eyes took in the scarred wing stumps, the soup stains, the carefully controlled trembling of her hands. Something ancient and human flickered in his expression, something that had once built civilizations and toppled empires. "They can try," he said simply. 20 minutes later, Darren and his crew found the Krillix patrol at their usual haunt, a supply depot they'd converted into an unofficial club. The lead Krillix saw them coming and laughed that clicking, grating sound. "Humans, come to file a complaint? This isn't your sector, apes." Darren stopped 10 feet away, his crew fanning out behind him. "You hurt someone today. Someone who couldn't fight back. The worm." The Krillix clicked harder. "What's it to you? You or mate? Didn't know humans had such exotic tastes." "Here's how this goes," Darren continued, ignoring the jab. "You're going to apologize to her. You're going to mean it. And you're never going to bother her again." The Krillix patrol exploded with clicking laughter. "Or what, mechanic? You'll file a grievance? We are the law here." "No," Darren said, and his voice dropped to something cold and factual. "We'll break every single one of your legs. All 6 of them. Each." The laughter died. "You can't—" "Station Charter, Section 47. One of Darren's crew, a woman named Chen, called out. "Citizens may use necessary force to defend themselves or others from assault by station personnel who abuse their authority." "We've got 17 witnesses from the diner. Recorded statements time-stamped." "You hit her," another mechanic added. "Shoved her. Humiliated her." "That's assault." The lead Krillix's mandibles clicked nervously now. "There are 6 of us. 8 of you. You're not warriors." Darren smiled, and it wasn't a nice smile. No, we're not. We're humans, and we've been fighting things bigger and meaner than us since we learned to walk upright. We're persistence hunters, pack animals. We don't give up and we don't fight fair. He took a step forward. So here's your choice. Walk to the diner with us now, apologize, and transfer to another sector by tomorrow. Or we find out exactly how much pressure a Krillix carapace can take before it cracks. Your call. The Krillix looked at the humans, really looked at them, saw the set of their jaws, the readiness in their stances, the absolute certainty in their eyes. Humans didn't posture. When they said something like this, they meant it. Evolution had taught the Krillix many things, but the newest lesson was this. Humans bonded. To each other, to those they decided to protect. And when they bonded, they became something more than their individual strength suggested. Fine, the lead Krillix finally clicked. We'll apologize. Lysara looked up in shock when they entered the diner. The Krillix patrol, subdued and silent, with the human mechanics behind them like a gathering storm. The lead Krillix approached her table, mandibles tight. I apologize. Our behavior was inappropriate. It won't happen again. The words were stiff, forced, but they were said. Darren stepped forward, placing a business card on Lysara's table. If anyone bothers you again, call. Doesn't matter the time, he paused. Also, we've got a specialist coming through next month. Cybernetics expert. If you're interested in prosthetics, wings, we know someone. Lysara stared at the card, then at Darren, then at the crew of grease-stained humans who'd stood up for a stranger. Her voice cracked. Why? Darren smiled, genuine this time. Because nobody deserves to be treated like that. And because humans, he glanced back at his crew. We're really good at fixing things that are broken, including injustice. As they left, Lysara clutched the card and for the first time in years, felt something she'd thought lost forever. Hope. And the understanding that in this vast, cold universe sometimes the most human thing of all was simply refusing to look away.